Greetings, Pokefans! Michael here, and welcome to my first Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon trailer analysis breakdown, whatever you want to call it, in quite a bit of time. First off, we didn't have any trailers for a long time, but also the last trailer I wasn't able to make an analysis on because I had just moved into my new place, and we didn't have internet yet, so that didn't happen. But today, we got a brand new trailer for Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon that I'm quite pleased with. I liked the trailer. I liked what I saw, and I'm just gonna go through the stuff, break down, give you some predictions, give you my thoughts on it and stuff like that. But before I do that, like I mentioned, wasn't able to make a trailer analysis for the last trailer that happened last week during the Nintendo Direct because I didn't have internet. Since several people have been asking me multiple times what my thoughts are on some of the things that happened in that trailer. So before I dive into today's trailer, I wanted to real quick, kind of give you my abbreviated thoughts on the stuff from the last trailer. So without further ado, let me dive right into that. So admittedly, this last trailer was underwhelming for me, but I think a large part of that is because I was in a very bad mood that day because I thought I was going to get internet, and then we didn't, so that was dumb. But overall, I'll just go through the things that were in it. The box art Pokemon have been confirmed to be Necrozma forms, not Solgaleo and Lunala forms. Necrozma absorbs Solgaleo and becomes Dusk main Necrozma, or it absorbs Lunala and becomes Dawn Wings Necrozma. Now, this is interesting, but not particularly exciting. It's kind of like the Kyurem thing. It's not anything new. It's not like we haven't seen fusion type stuff before. So thought it was alright, but not spectacular. The next thing is that several new areas were shown. A little new beach area with surfboards, and the little Pikachu park, which we've seen other parts of before. And in that, it shows Mantine as a Ride Pokemon sitting in the water over there. Now, that is going to come into play for the trailer that we got today, because that was confirmed. But moving on from that, we got a new Z-move for Lycanroc, and all three forms, not just the Dusk form, and I think it's pretty cool. Cool animation, cool effect that it removes the terrain effects and stuff like that. But I feel like I would be fine with or without it. It doesn't really affect me one way or another. However, one thing that I am hoping for is that it makes Lycanroc better and competitive, because I really like Lycanroc, especially midday Lycanroc, and I want it to be more useful than it is. But one thing that I realized when looking at this is, if you remember from the very first Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon reveal trailer, we got this animation of Lycanroc jumping into the sky, which we now know is from its new Z move, and we also got one of Mimikyu, kind of red eyes coming up from under its thing. So that leads me to believe that that animation of Mimikyu is because it is getting a new Z move as well, just from the context clue. So Kamo-O and Lycanroc have already gotten new exclusive Z-moves, and I think Mimikyu might get one as well. We'll have to wait and see. So, we got two new Ultra Beasts. This was the biggest deal from that. UB Assembly and UB Burst, I believe I wrote that down correctly. I've been calling them UB Building and UB Dippin' Dots. So, honestly, I don't like them. I think they're ugly. Dippin' Dots looks like a weird combination of Nihilego and Xurkitree, but then turned into a clown, and I hate clowns. And Assembly looks like a Guardian from Breath of the Wild that they just made more blocky and dumb. So I don't, looking at them objectively, not objectively, subjectively, but looking at them as Pokemon, I think they're stupid. I think they're ugly. But I also think that about most UBs, so I guess. But UBs are intended to be weird and otherworldly, which I get. It's just, it's not gonna make me like them. But this is actually a really big deal because this is the first time we've ever gotten new species of Pokemon, not just new forms, new species in one generation. So, while I don't like these specifically, I hope that they are indications of more, not just more new Ultra Beasts, but new Alola forms, or maybe new just regular Pokemon species. That would be really exciting. So I hope that sets a precedent that we can get more of those in the future, but we'll have to wait and see. So, quick water break, and on to today's trailer. Now, there were a couple different things that we got in this trailer. first off is that trials remain, but we mostly knew that already. That's not new information. We were pretty sure those were going to stay. But several trials from before have changed. It seems like they're keeping trials and some of the same totem Pokemon, like we see Lurantis, but what you do for the trial is different, which I think is great. You know, I think that's gonna be, if it was the exact same as before, it would be like, this is, you know, like the same thing I did before, this is boring. But if they change it up, you know, make the gimmick, the game thing you do ahead, might be a little bit more fun. Kind of like in the third versions of games, they usually give gym leaders new Pokemon. It's kind of like that. So that's cool. The other thing we got is, Alolan Marowak is part of that. Alolan Marowak is now the Volcano Totem Pokemon, which I think is good. And one of the trials that I'm especially looking forward to is Acerola's, because of that shot of her like yelling at the door where the Mimikyu was, that she was like, what, there's no door back there before, and it was like really creepy, and I loved that. She's yelling at the door, get out, get out, get out, which like looks super intense, so I'm really looking forward to that one. Mina, the painter girl with fairy type Pokemon, actually has a trial now. She got her act together. That's cool. So I'm looking forward to doing a completely new trial that we haven't done before. Hopefully it's a fun little thing you have to do and not stupid. And Hau and Lily are back. So far they seem pretty similar to how they were before. We only see shots of Lily in her later game outfit, so part of me is like, is she gonna be like that the whole game? You know, or are we just gonna skip the whole nervous, afraid of Pokemon stage and go straight to the like, I can do this stage? Don't know. Well, we will see. The next big section of things we got is that the Pokedex now has over 400 Pokemon. They're bringing in a bunch of Pokemon to Alola that were not in Sun and Moon, which I think is great. It's a lot more options, and there's going to be a lot more team variety in the playthroughs, because I love seeing that. Team building in playthroughs is one of my favorite aspects of Pokemon, and I'm looking forward to seeing all the different teams people are going to use. They showed one version exclusive pair, which is Houndoom in Ultra Sun and Manectric in Sun and in Ultra Moon. So that's cool. We got the hot dog in the sun, the hot dog, and the Sparkydog in Ultra Moon. So I like that. And of all the Pokemon we saw that were new to this game, I think the one that I'm tempted to use the most on my team is probably Zoroark, because we saw Zorua, and I really like Zoroark. I think it's really cool, fun Pokemon to use. So I think I might hit that up for my team. We'll have to see. You'll have to see in the new Let's Play coming when the games come out. But that's not for a couple of months still. Anyways, the Alola Photo Club was the next thing. You can pose your character and a Pokemon with you, add lots of effects. You can do all sorts of different angles and poses. It's probably the most in-depth, extra little fun gimmick thing we've gotten in a while, but it's not new information, since Game Informer had a piece on it that they explained, like they had the game devs there explaining it a little while ago, so it's not new information, but it seems like a mildly amusing thing. I think the thing I'm most looking forward to about it, though, is the Twitter memes that it creates. People getting particularly creative and funny with their pictures. So you'll probably see several of those on my Twitter feed that I've retweeted, which you should follow me, by the way, at MandJTV Pokevids. The next thing, and the last thing that was in the trailer, is Mantine Surf. Ride Pokemon, like I mentioned before, was confirmed, and it appears to be used to travel between the islands, which I think is great, because traveling between the islands before is just like you get on a boat cutscene, which is like, it's fine the first time, but after that it's like, okay, I get it. Or you fly, which is, you know, what I will do once I get fly, but the surfing is cool. You know, you leap into the air and do tricks off a wave, and if you ever played Wii Sports Resort and did the wakeboarding, it reminds me a lot of that, and that was a fun game. So I think it's going to be pretty fun to ride this Mantine and do flips in the air and dodge the tentacool floating mine things. I think it's going to be fun. Also, I would like to point out, in one of the recent Shiny Race randomizer Nuzlocke things with A-Drive, I predicted that Mantine would not be diving, but would be jumping into the air. I predicted that it would be used to jump over rocks, but I was a lot closer than A-Drive was, so I feel like I deserve a self-pat on the back for that. And finally, the last thing we got that was it was in the end of the Japanese trailer, it was not in the English trailer, but the promo poster for Ultra Sun and Moon that came out earlier this week, which I already thought like, wow, that looks pretty epic. We got a clearer, more HD version, and you can see the people at the top better, and after seeing them more clearly, I'm pretty convinced that they are super high-tech Ether Foundation members, like different admins, you know, with like more high-tech gear, maybe for traveling to the alternate dimensions, that kind of thing. So I'm really looking forward to the different story, hopefully, that those people are a part of, because the biggest thing I want in Ultra Sun and Moon, because while the new features are cool, if the story is almost exactly the same, just with Necrozma instead of Solgaleo Lunala, I'll be a little bit let down. I want them to not do what they did with Emerald and Platinum and Yellow and Crystal. I want them to do what they did with Black 2 and White 2, where they do the same region with several of the same characters, but they change the story quite a bit. So we'll see what happens with that. I really liked this new trailer, especially the Mantine surfing thing. I think that's going to be a lot of fun. But that is all the new information we have. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to let me know down in the comments below your thoughts on all the new information we just got, thoughts on my predictions and stuff like that. And be sure to leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it. That helps me out a lot. If you're not already subscribed, you totally should. You've watched me for this long. You must like hearing me talk, so you should definitely do that. Later today, there's going to be a new episode of the Randomizer Shiny Race Nuzlocke with A-Drive coming out here on my channel, so hope you're looking forward to that. Be sure to check back later today. And that is all I have for now. So until next time, Poke fans, gotta catch them all!